So you're free at last. But what I want to know, and what investors want to know, is what I'm investing in, and are we about to enter a new phase of growth in offshore drilling in the market? Your assessment, sir. Good morning.
Good morning, and thank you for the introduction. Well, the market are improving. That's what we see. That's the conversations we have with our customers. That's the backlog we're building. We've seen that the Norwegian jack-up market already last year saw quite some improvement, both when it comes to utilization and when it comes to rates. Yesterday we were out telling about a new contract in the deep water space, which also shows that market fundamentals are going the right way. So I'm fairly optimistic that we will see improvements as we look ahead.
Jorn, good morning. It's Naira in London. Yes, you expect to see improvements. Good morning. You expect to see improvements. That said, the drilling market is still, to a certain extent, feeling the stress from the collapse in crude prices almost 5 years ago. Your balance sheet, though, is stronger than most of your peers. You have less debt. So I'm wondering, can we expect Maersk Drilling to take advantage of this position to buy up weaker rivals?
Well, first of all, we do come out with a strong balance sheet. I do believe also that in this industry, a strong balance sheet is required because the industry is cyclical, and in order to make it through the cyclicality of the business, a strong balance sheet is required. But of course, it also offers the opportunity to look at attractive opportunities in the market and seize them. And for us, it's really about doing something that fits into the operating model that we have, the customers that we serve. We like to be in the tough markets like the North Sea, in the harsh environment. And if you're going to see us using our balance sheet for that, well, then it's going to be in that arena.
Jorn, let's just dig a little bit deeper into that. You know, this is your freedom moment, so to speak. It's going to be your choice as to how much leverage you take on board to that balance sheet. What debt ratio would you be comfortable with? Where do you want, if you scale up to do a deal, what kind of debt levels or bond issuance could we expect from you?
Yeah, I think it's the leverage is one thing that you have to look at. I mean, it is a cyclical industry, so when we compare leverage year on year, it might change a lot just due to the fact that our revenues will do vary over time. So I think it's two things I'm looking to. First of all, it's the leverage, but it's also the absolute debt that you have, where we are at the moment, we are very comfortable with the leverage we have. When we went into 2019, we had a leverage of 1.8. It's going to go up a little bit over the year, going to be short of 3 at the end of the year, so or 2.7. We're also comfortable with that. But it's difficult for me to give you an absolute number on what's the right leverage, especially given the cyclicality of this industry.
On the broader industry, Jorn, do you think the industry might see a round 2 of restructurings at some point, or has the work that's been done already enough to bring the industry through the recovery?
Well, it seems like the restructuring we've seen, and if you look at the balance sheets around with the peers, that it does seem that of course, depending on how optimistic you are about the future, but that most of our peers have runway in order to manage through the down cycle.
Can I ask you, just, I mean, you started the conversation. We started the conversation with your outlook, and you're using cautionary but hopefully optimistic language. You've got very few idle rigs. Our team have done some of the analysis. You've got very few idle rigs, and that's probably a good position. But what we want to know a little bit about is the Valiant drill ship. Are you in talks with any potential clients there? Just give us a complexion in terms of the demand side for that particular that business on the drill ship.
Yeah, I'm not going into details about the rigs, but basically for for most of our rigs, we are continuously working with customers to see what we can do, and as we see it in the deep water space, interest is picking up, and we see that longer contracts are being talked about. I mean, the contract we landed yesterday, which is a 3-year plus contract at much better rates that we've seen recently, is a good indicator of that. We see that the oil companies are back in a situation where they want to go back into deep water, also on the bigger stuff, not just short term.
Jorn, so let's bring it back to what we started the conversation on, which is the fact that your stocks, of course, is about to trade on the exchange. Now, many analysts have said it's been tough to estimate a valuation for your company. Should we expect the Maersk Drilling share can be a bit of a volatile investment from the beginning?
Yeah, that's a good question. That's, of course, up to the investors. But I think the way we look at it is that we probably think that within the next weeks, months, we will see a stabilized value on the stock. I mean, I'm of course excited and interested in knowing where it lands, but I'm also prepared that there might be some volatility to start with.